Crypto Bro Show is solely for entertainment purposes. Orlando Alzugaray and his guests are not financial advisors or investments consultants. If you ever plan to invest, make sure you do your homework, talk to a professional, and understand investing is very risky and volatile. Good luck in any of your investments, and only invest what you're willing to lose.
Time to log into the blockchain and find out what's the latest in Bitcoin and crypto in our Crypto Bro Show.
Crypto Bros.
This segment brought to you by RM Contractors and Custom Drywall. Take your home or business to the next level with RM Contractors and Custom Drywall. Call Ray or Mike at 305-345-3649. You dream it, they'll build it. See their fantastic work on Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Crypto Bros.
Here's the Crypto Bro himself, Orlando Alzugaray.
All right. Now, first of all, while we're hovering around 61, remember, folks, we're just a little over 10,000, 12,000 away from the all-time high. We have been in the 63, 65, 67, 70, 71. We have been flirting with this entire window since they hit 73.3, the peak. We've been flirting. And they went all the way down to 49, by the way. But you've been strongly flirting from 60 to 71 pretty much the entire time. Okay? So think about this. The former all-time highs were 67,000. 67.7, I believe it was. And you're 6,000 away from that. 7,000 away from that, I'm sorry. Okay? You've been consolidating for just over 6 months in this area, which is an amazing buying zone, okay? And when it hits 110 and 140 and 180 and 250, and it will, are you going to worry if you bought it at 61 or 66 or 56? It's not going to matter. And when it gets to 500,000, does it really matter if you bought it at 65 or at 60 or 55? Okay, yeah, somebody might be making a couple of bucks more than somebody else, but overall, everybody's making really good money. Okay, 92% of the people that are in Bitcoin are already in profit. Yours truly also is one of them. Why? Because we bought from early on. So it doesn't matter where you buy, you're going to be in profit if you hang on. Okay, now I want one of the reasons why we had to dip from 65 to 60. Yes, of course. The war, possibly in the Middle East, with Iran attacking Israel, and Israel now could be attacking Iran and their oil refineries and all that. And so oil's going up. Yes, the docks strikes. Yes, of course. But it's also panic. And the short-term holders, which are people that have owned Bitcoin for less than 155 days. I have a friend of mine that I tried to educate him. I tried to orange pill him, right? And he bought some. And he got it a little cheaper. When it got to 65 recently, he sold out the profits. Okay? And that's cool. And that's fine. He didn't believe in it. And that's fine. That's all right. But the people that are selling, he's the one. He's the one that owned for about 155 days. People that have owned for 6 months. Those are people that usually never really read the white paper, never really took the time to understand Bitcoin, understand crypto, understand the blockchain, understand where our money is going, what the Federal Reserve is doing, how Democrats and Republicans are printing like it's going out of style and devaluing our money. Okay, if you look at it objectively, instead of being freaking cheerleaders like so many of you are for red or blue, which is incredibly pathetic and embarrassing on your part, by the way, you people that treat Republicans or Democrats like you're a fucking cheerleader. Really, you people are embarrassing. I got to tell you, you're embarrassing. Seriously, you're pathetic, you're embarrassing, and you need a life. And you need to get educated, because if you're stuck on one side, you're dumb. Okay? Basically, I know all of this. When I include all of this, and since I've gotten into Bitcoin, I know it includes politics. I know it ends up pissing off people and turning them off. And I know it hurts me and people stop viewing and all that. I don't care, dude. I really don't care. So if you're a pissed off Democrat or Republican, both of you can kiss my ass. It's really simple. I'm about Americans and I'm about Bitcoin. I ain't about Democrats or Republicans. So, anyway, I get it, but 3 billion of Bitcoin has been nearly sold in the last week and a half from short-term holders. Long-term holders, do you know what they're doing? They're buying up all that Bitcoin that's being sold. Yours truly. I bought some more this morning. You're going to be in the 60,000 range. You want to flirt with 59, 61. I'm going to buy. I'm going to keep buying. I'm going to keep buying. I will never see these numbers again. I am not a financial advisor, like the segment said at the beginning, but I'm telling you, you will never see the 50s and the 60s. I don't even think you'll ever see the 70s again once we take off and go to 6 digits. You'll never see these numbers ever again for Bitcoin. Institutional money is setting in. They're the foundational money. They're not going to move. You will sell. I will sell. Sean will sell. Retail sells. Institutions, they hang on to their Amazon stock and their Apple stock and their Microsoft stock, and they pass it on to their loved ones and so on and so forth. And that's what happens. And that's what's going to happen with this. Because this is the greatest piece of real estate that exists on the planet. You can move this real estate everywhere you go, right in your mind. You can't move it if you're stuck in South Florida and it's hurricane after hurricane. You got to live there. Look at the people in North Carolina or South Carolina. Look at the people in New York. You're going to have to deal whatever. When you own a piece of property, you got to pay taxes. You got to pay upkeep. You got to pay all kinds of stuff. So you're putting more money into everything that you do. This only you put it in once and all it does is grow. It is the greatest piece of property on Mother Earth right now. And you can enjoy this property in Paris, in Miami, in California, in everywhere you're at in the world. And it's only going to grow. Okay? I'm just telling you, you need to go look at what the hell's going on. So for those of you that are panicking, do not panic. Stay strong. That's what I'm doing. Keep building your future. Keep building for your family's future. Stay strong. Okay? Now, Brazil's largest crypto exchange, Mercado, has partnered with Ripple to now offer cross-border payments. This is going to start happening. Banks and others are going to get involved. We're going to start getting regulation in the European countries and South American and Central American countries. They're going to start getting regulations way ahead of us because, unfortunately, the Democrats on this side have done everything in their power to screw everybody on this. I can't blame Republicans this time around. I have to blame who I blame properly. Whether it's a Republican or a Democrat on this end, I'm blaming the Democrats. They have screwed Americans over big time, and they continue with Gary Gensler and all the shit that they're doing. And meanwhile, other countries are moving way ahead of us on this, which is ridiculous. El Salvador just announced that they are building an entire market, business market on their blockchain on Bitcoin. You know, Google's got an office now in El Salvador. Okay, I'm just saying. Anyway, Visa has now launched its tokenized asset platform to issue and manage digital assets. Visa's already involved in crypto as it is. Okay? Franklin Templeton, which manages trillions, has submitted a proposal to the SEC to list and trade Bitcoin and Ethereum crypto on their index ETF. So now when USB and Franklin Templeton and all these other wirehouses get into it, this is trillions and trillions that they manage, but they're waiting for regulations. And once the regulations are in, then everybody wants to get in, but they need the regulations. But unfortunately, one side of our government has been very, very, very dirty in this process, stopping us. Stocks now. This is how screwed up our everything that's going on right now. Stocks are rising like we've avoided a recession. Stock market's at an all-time high. Gold prices are rising like we're headed into a recession. They're buying gold everywhere. countries, everybody, because everybody knows their fiat currency. It doesn't matter if you're in Brazil, in London, in France, in the United States, in Canada, everybody's money is going to crap. Okay, so they're all loading up on gold too. Oil prices are rising like it's World War III because of what's going on, because possibly Israel's going to attack Iran. Bond prices are falling like geopolitical tensions are easing, which not really true. And then crypto is falling like risk appetite has disappeared. Okay, and tech stocks are rising like risk appetite is at all-time highs, and it should be, because that's where we're headed. And those are the smart people that are investing in tech. Because tech took a big hit in the last year. Now it's rebounding. So remember, the election's in 33 days. It's going to get a lot better. It's everything pumps leading into the election, and everything explodes. No matter who goes into office, by the way. Doesn't matter who wins, it's going to explode. Feds are cutting rates by another 0.5% in November. China and the rest of the world are cutting rates right now. And FTX is now starting to dish out $16 billion in cash repayments. And a lot of those people are going to go right back into Bitcoin and others. So you're going to have an injection of, I don't know how many billions of that 16, but several billion of that is going to go right back into crypto. Standard Charter right now has come out and said, if Bitcoin is under 60, it's a massive buy. 6 months ago, a year ago, you would never get an institution like Standard Charter to say something like that publicly. Now they're talking about it publicly because they have to talk to their own investors. They cannot allow their investors to pass up the best asset in the world to add to their portfolios, because if they tell them and it increases their portfolios, they look like geniuses. But if they don't tell them about it and it blows up and it's not in their portfolios, guess what they're doing? It's like that commercial that guy's pissed off with Schwab all the time. That's what's going to happen. They're going to dump your ass. And so they all know it, whether it's Franklin Templeton, whether it's Standard Charter, whether it's USB, they all know where they have to go. Some of you don't. If you had $1 million a year ago, Sean, how much less could you buy right now? Because I know you can't buy more if you had $1 million a year ago. How much can you buy? If you had $1 million, do you know how much $1 million is a year later? Anybody know? Anybody? $660,000. You lost 34% of your buying power in 1 year if you had $1 million. If you had Bitcoin, $1 million in Bitcoin a year ago, you have $2.2 million right now, because it's up 120% over the last year. Are you listening to me? If you had $1 million, you would have $660,000 of buying power a year later. If you had $1 million in Bitcoin, you'd have 2.2 million. Bitcoin's up 120%, even with this dip of the last 6 months. Even with the dip of the last 6 months, Bitcoin is up 120% in the last calendar year, my friends. That's why I tell you, these people holding for 155 days, they held for the worst 155 days. What they should have done is continue to buy and lower your number and then wait for it to blow up, because it's coming. There's a finite amount. You had $1 million, you would have $660,000 of buying power a year later. Think about that shit. That's the kind of stuff that, Swift, can you bring up the chart, please? Swift has released an article how their global network will allow transfers of digital assets and currencies to move within their existing network. In other words, crypto transactions are coming to Swift in 2025. There. And Swift is a payment that is used worldwide. Worldwide. Every bank uses it. And regulations are coming. All these banks want regulations. You know, the bill that Biden vetoed, and he shouldn't have, he vetoed it, and all the banks wanted it. I give the Democrat Ro Khanna, the senator from California, a ton of very few Democrats have come out pro Bitcoin. He's the only guy that came out and said, "Hey, we need a Bitcoin reserve." No, dude. Come on. And Swift now is preparing. This is coming. And I've been telling you about this for years now. Okay? For years. And then the other thing that I got there that I sent you, Sean, bring up that link and put a week on it. Okay? The DXY is the dollar. I want you guys to pay attention to what's been going on. I want you to pay attention well. Okay? When they had the rate cut, a lot of people thought maybe the dollar would go down, and it was on a downward movement, right? But unfortunately, the dollar now has, well, fortunately, because it's good that the dollar bounces back and it's strong, right? And put it for a week, because I want people to see when you put a whole week, because of what's happened in our dip where we were at 65, 66, messing around, and now went down to 60, 61. And I always tell you that the dollar and the DXY there's a correlation with it. Okay, when the dollar's strong, risk assets go down. When the dollar weakens, risk assets go up. So I want you to put, you see where exactly, right where the down slope is. See where my finger is right here? See over here? Look right here. Put it right there. That's at the down slope right there. That's when we were at 65. And so the dollar was going down at that moment. And all of a sudden now the dollar got strength in the last couple of days. And then what's happened? We've had now a bit of a downslope in Bitcoin. So a lot of times you can just follow the DXY and you'll see what happens. And now if you go look at the world money supply, it is now triggering up. And every time the world money supply goes up, that means China's printing, Japan's printing, Europe is printing, the United States are printing. And when they print, boom, risk assets, gold, silver, Bitcoin, they explode. Okay? And usually when that happens, their dollars are weakening at that point. So you're going to see a swing now in this month where it's going to start weakening, and it'll weaken into November and December. And then you'll see risk assets explode just like Bitcoin. But you've got to have patience and you've got to wait. It's all automatic. The government is run on debt, and it's the only way they survive. And it doesn't matter who you vote in. Either way, they both will print $10 trillion, and it will ignite risk assets like Bitcoin. That is today's edition of the Crypto Bro Show. We appreciate it. Hour number 2 is next. Alex Winley will join us to talk a little Inter-Miami football. Let's talk about the best team in the MLS next.
The Crypto Bro Show is brought to you by RM Contractors and Custom Drywall. From complete makeovers for homes or condos to impact windows and doors to drywall with level 5 finish. Call Ray or Mike at RM Contractors and Custom Drywall. 305-345-3649. You dream it, they'll build it. See their exceptional work on Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Crypto Bros.
Follow Big O for more crypto insight on X or Twitter at Big O Show.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.